Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
Here we go, the main event on Friday night, the WBO World Super Middleweight Championship between Billy Joe Saunders and Martin Murray, live in the ring around 10 p.m. on Sky Sports and DAZN around the world. This is a great domestic fight. I'm going to start with Team Murray. Martin, welcome. I haven't seen you for a while. You look fantastic, always looking healthy and strong.
Yeah, nice one, Ed. You do too, mate, yeah. Yeah, feeling good, mate. Obviously, I've not seen you for a while. It's good to be back on Sky Sports. Good to be in a big major fight. I'm fit and ready and looking forward to it.
Seen a lot of interviews with you lately. I think when you always listen to the way someone's talking and the passion that they speak with, you seem very focused and very driven for this opportunity. I kind of get the feeling that you and the team say, this is it. You know, this is the last roll of the dice. This is my moment. I'm going to leave everything in there on Friday.
Yeah, definitely. You know, this is my fifth one now. I know how hard a fight it's going to be. I really rate Billy Joe. You know, we've got unfinished business, but everything happens for a reason. You know, I firmly believe and truly believe that the pull-outs years ago and the little setbacks I've had have all brought me to this point. And like I said, I'm fit, I'm focused, and I'm ready.
How frustrating was that? I saw at the time, you know, you did feel that he pulled out of those fights. Maybe he didn't want to fight you. He was looking for those bigger fights as well. But did that hurt at the time? You know, you really wanted your opportunity at Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, obviously it did. But I get it. I get why you pulled out. To be honest with you, we all want them bigger fights, and it makes sense. So there's a little bit of frustration at the time, but I left that where it was, and you know, I've got nothing against Billy. You know, it's one of them. We shook hands, I think, at me fight when I got beat against him. Damn, he was on the undercard. Like I said, I've got out against him, but he's here now, and you know, he's honoured his word. A few years late, but we're here, and yeah, no doubt we're both looking forward to it. He's going to be in top condition himself, and we're both going to lay it all on the line. So it's going to be a good fight.
You've come up, obviously, through British boxing at a similar time with Billy Joe Saunders. You've watched him over the years as well. When you look at the 168-pound performances of Billy Joe, some might say they haven't been as impressive as the Lemieux victories and the Eubank victories at 160. Do you feel that you take anything from those last couple of fights, or do you expect a top-class Billy Joe Saunders on Friday?
I've got to be honest with you, Ed. I don't watch much boxing. I'm not a big boxing fan. I've seen a few of Billy's fights. But what I know about him is that when he's on his game, he's on his game. You know, when he does rise to the occasion, I know he's going to rise to it on Friday night. So I prepared and got myself ready for an elite Billy Joe.
You've been so close so many times. I mean, I don't think there's anyone that didn't think you beat Sergio Martinez. There was a lot of people that felt you beat Sturm. There was quite a few people that thought you beat Arthur Abraham as well. You are the challenger again going into fight a champion, although we are in the UK, which is the first time for you fighting for a world title. But how important is it to try and win convincingly on Friday night and to leave it with no doubt?
Yeah, obviously it is. Like I said, I know it's going to be an hard fight. Sturm was, 9 years ago now? Sturm, Martinez, Abraham. And if I'm honest, I think, you know, I thought I won the fight against Abraham. We was only on about this earlier, Jay, with Andy as well. And, you know, I thought I won the fight against Abraham. But in hindsight, I left it too close to call in Germany, and I won't be doing that on Friday. I'm just happy I've got the chance to lay it all on the line and leave it all in the ring.
Jamie, big chance for you. We know you're very close with Martin as well. Massive opportunity. I get the feeling from the team you really believe that he can do this on Friday night.
Yeah, of course. You know, when we was in discussions about having this fight, we wouldn't have took this fight if we didn't think Martin was capable of winning the fight. Not to say that we don't realise how difficult the task is, but if you're going to be fighting for a world title and winning it, then you have to be capable of going in there and doing the business. And you know, we're under no illusions how big the task is. But I know I've got a fighter in Martin who's experienced at this level. He should have been a world champion before. Even though he's been in tough fights, he's had big gaps in between where his body's been able to recover and stuff. So in terms of mileage on the clock, he's still relatively fresh for his age. So we just need the stars to align and everything to fall in place on the night, because even if we win the fight, or it gets to that point, you're not going to beat Billy Joe easily. He's one of those fighters where even if you get him, he's going to be close. And like you said, we only realised before, or I only realised that this is Martin's first world title opportunity in Britain. So he's been on the rough end of the decision a couple of times. We've just got to hope that if it's close towards the end, we get a good roll of the dice. But it's a difficult fight. But I know Martin's in the best shape possible, and he's got the tools capable of winning it.
Question for both of you, Jamie. First, obviously, there's been a lot of video footage talking about the inspiration of Oliver Harrison going into this fight. Obviously, someone that you were both extremely close to, great man, great coach as well. Does that drive you guys on in this fight as well? I know he would have been immensely proud of you going into this fight, and I know that he always believed you would become a world champion as well, Jamie.
Well, I think from my point of view, any influence like that can drive you that extra few percent, and I know Oliver will be looking down and wishing us on and driving us on over that line if and when we get to that point in the fight. But the impact that man has had on mine and Martin's life is immense. He was an unbelievable coach, fantastic human being, and I'm just glad that he's getting the praise and respect what he deserved, what he should have had before he sadly passed away. So that's what we're going to do for him.
And Martin, same to you, of course. We know you could have won a world title with him, should have won a world title with him, but would be a major moment and a tribute to him if you could do the business on Friday.
Yeah, obviously I miss him a lot. Think about him every day. Still not got over his loss, and I never will, to be honest with you. Like Jay said, he was a world-class trainer, fantastic human being, great friend. He's been a big loss for us all. But we should have had it a few years ago, and it's all about Oliver on Friday night.
Thank you, Martin. Jimmy, welcome. Mark, even. Jimmy. I get that all the time, don't worry about it. Back with Billy Joe Saunders, been out. Big camp for you out there in Fuerteventura as well. He's working hard, looks in great shape. Tough challenge on Friday night. I know a lot of people expect Billy Joe Saunders to come through this, but you two, under no illusions, this is a real fight for the World Championship on Friday.
Yeah, it's definitely it's two styles that are going to work 100%. And he's a veteran. He should have won that world title back in against Sturm. I remember that fight. Sorry, I'm going to change the subject again. Me and Billy Joe Saunders and my father wound down in Oliver's gym when he won the world title. So you brought back some memories. Yeah, and he was a lovely guy, Oliver. Beautiful, beautiful spirit, yeah. Getting back to Billy Joe Saunders and Martin Murray. Yeah, it's going to be I fancy it's going to be we're well prepared, we're equipped, we're fit, we're strong. We've hit numbers, and the man's skillful. He's a genius. He's a boxing genius. He's going to be a boxing genius. He just needs to iron out one or two areas, and I can instill that in him. But we've had a wonderful camp in Fuerteventura already. You brought that up. Adam Bailey looks after us out there. Greg Marriott, bit mad, but he's a genius at his job. Wonderful. And Tom Watts done a brilliant in the logistics, in the running of the day-to-day life. No, we've had a good, smooth camp. It's been great.
How good is Billy Joe Saunders? I mean, people talk about he could be the best at 168 pounds. They said he might have been the best at 160, but how much more do you think is there to see of Billy Joe Saunders, and how many more levels to climb?
Well, that's up to Billy Joe himself. He's so like, I heard you start the press conference today, and I heard you says about how he worries about his fighters and that. And them little things, he's got to, they're in good hands, they're building. And for little things like that, he's got to focus on, especially the last couple of years, he's got to focus on himself. And it's a lifestyle change. And we've done it. We just did it. And we've did it. We used to do it a lot, but we did it again. But he's got to do it when he ain't in training for a fight. And that's where you're gonna find the gypsy magic, that extra gypsy magic, when he has a little bit of a lifestyle change. And I hope you don't mind me saying that, son.
Mark, if you pass the mic over to Billy. Billy, looking good, looking ready. Do you feel the pressure in this fight? A lot of people think you're going to win this fight? Of course, Martin Murray, you know, is a top fighter. You know this is going to be a difficult fight, but there are people saying that you need to not just win on Friday, but to make a statement as well.
Yeah, listen, first of all, obviously, I've got to thank yourself and Sky for even getting us out this year. I mean, I didn't even think I was going to get out. You know, all the big fights were tied up, and as you know, the list of names we tried to make and the names put forward, you know, the ones what was left out of there was obviously Martin Murray's name was screaming out. It's supposed to happen twice before, didn't happen. Boxer the world title 4 times, should have been 2-time world champion. Obviously on the wrong end of 2 decisions. So for me, people's looking at this fight as oh, you know, this is a walk in the park and you know, this should be done easy, and you know, Martin, his age and that. But if you look at Martin, he's never took damage, collateral damage to the head. He's never been beaten up in a fight where you think, oh, you know, Golovkin, you know, it was what it was. He caught him in his prime, but it's always he's an in your shell fighter. So if there is any collateral damage, it's the body, nothing really else. So his name screamed out to me, and I promised him his shot. And you know, listen, it's here. It was money in the bank all the way along, but you know, I believe that it's my time to shine now. And going back to doing it for people. Obviously, I'm doing this fight for my Uncle Tom Bean, who passed away. He was like a dad to me. I had to break camp over it. So I know how you feel going in fighting with that spirit for someone, because, like I say, this fight is dedicated to him, because I went away, trained my balls off for this fight. And I know I've got to be fit and I've got to be on my game, because I know that someone like Martin Murray, you know, he's an old fox, you know, when it comes to fights like this. And you know, you can't let him smell blood. You have to make sure to, you know, keep him where I want him and where I need him, not let him where he wants to be.
How motivated are you right now? I mean, you've had a great camp with Mark. We know Martin, you know, you talked about Oliver, you talked about throwing everything into this fight because this is his last chance. You know, are you equally as motivated for this fight as well? We know you want, you know, the flagship names in the division, but if you're not motivated, this could be a very difficult fight for you on Friday. Are you motivated to win this fight?
Like I say, it's one of them. A champion's art, the light in it never switches off. You know, the light in a champion's art never switches off. And I'll always find a way. Whatever way I need to find, any means necessary, I will find a way. You know, I haven't been beat on home soil since I've been 12 years old. So, you know, I've got a good home track record. The last time I got beat, I was 12 years old in England, so I'm hoping to keep that going. Martin's a good veteran. He's been in some good fights. I've watched his fights with, you know, all of them, watching him coming through. I was even mandatory for your British title when you was British champion. But obviously at that time you vacated because you was looking for bigger and better things. Obviously the bigger money fights. But, you know, sometimes fights are destined to happen, and maybe this is destined to happen. Like I say, I'm not looking at Martin as a gatekeeper. We see last week Danny Jacobs fight Rosado. And we saw, you know, we see that Jacobs is not invincible to someone like Rosado, what should have been considered as a 4 or 5 round fight. So we know these men are coming with consistency, you know, will to win. And I think one thing I will say about Martin is that his will to win is second to none. So, you know, I'm the same. So you put 2 of them together, you only ask them for a great fight.
Do you feel the pressure when you talk about the Jacobs fight? A lot of people were talking about Jacobs against you, Jacobs against Golovkin again, Jacobs against Andrade, you know, all these fights. And then a slight subpar performance can actually take you out of the picture for a lot of those big fights as well. Do you feel that you need to look great and put in a commanding performance on Friday as you move into 2021? You don't strike me as the kind of character that really cares about people's opinions.
I don't put pressure on myself on no fights. I just say to myself before any camp, any fight, look, please God, no injuries, let me get through, and let me get through with a win. But obviously, if I'm chasing the winner of your Callum Smith's, Canelos and your Jacobs's, I know that, you know, I have to do something that no one's done. I know I have to shine how no one shined before with Martin Murray. And, you know, you look at the Sergio Martinez fight when he boxed him, I thought Martin won the fight. And at the time, Martinez was looked at as the man of the division. And like I say, I watched a few of his fights, and there's not much changed from Martin. It's not so he's gone from 10 to 4, from 10 to 6. You know, he's still the same fighter, but with a bit of age. I mean, you know, he's obviously a good family man. Like I say, he lives the life out of the gym, probably better than me. so maybe that makes it equaler. I go up like a fat pig. So, you know, he's in camp training all the time, while I'm sitting back, sorry about the swearing, eating cakes, eating food, then just get a phone call with you. This is what you're getting, Billy Joe. Go to camp, adios amigos, train and fight. What Billy Joe Saunders turn up? I know in my own head what I'm doing this for on Friday night, and not for myself. So Friday night will be my A game.
Thank you, Billy. Two great fighters, two great teams. One great fight. Friday night, the WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the World. It's London against St Helens. A chance for Martin Murray to become a world champion on his 5th attempt, the first in the UK, and for Billy Joe Saunders to make a major statement to the world. Gentlemen, if we can have a head-to-head here, please.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.